What should I do if my brother's caught in sin? Oh! Okay, join us today in our devotions. We are continuing in Galatians, but now we're moving on to the next chapter, chapter 6 of Galatians, starting in the beginning, which says, Brethren, if a man is overtaken in any trespass, you who are spiritual, restore such a one in a spirit of gentleness. Consider yourself, lest you also be tempted. There's two sides to this whole thing. First, you and I are not special in that we can all fall into sin. All sin. Any of us can fall into the most terrible sin. It's just by the grace of God that we are not yet. So, when you're looking at your brother who's caught in sin, he fell back in, it's not talking about he has fallen away from the Lord per se, but he has fallen back to maybe a sin that he's been struggling with in the past. The rest of us are supposed to come carefully because you and I could be tempted by the same thing, and carefully encourage him, come alongside him, pray for him. Remember, this is referring to a brother or a sister who is caught, and they don't want to be usually. They want to be free from this. So come with love, come with a helping hand. Don't come judgmentally. It goes on to say, verse 2, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. Jesus came to bear our burdens. He died on the cross to bear our burdens, to hang on a tree, to satisfy the need, the punishment, the wages for sin. And he did all that. We then are supposed to copy our brother or our sister is having troubles. And maybe it's with sin, maybe it's with just another burden. We need to come alongside. We need to love them and help them through these times. Verse 3, for if anyone thinks himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. I always think of Charlie Brown with this. Charlie Brown said something like, how could she love me because I'm nothing and she's something? And how can she, being something, love someone who's like me, who's nothing? Just this silliness. Be careful. Don't raise yourself up thinking, you know what? I am God's gift to these people. I am someone so awesome. Honestly, we are all servants, fellow slaves, right alongside the next person. And Jesus said, hey, when you go to a banquet, sit at the lowest place in the table, because then the master of the banquet could raise you up. But if you go, assuming you're the special one, and sit right in the highest place, then the master of the banquet might come and say, hey, excuse me, sir, you need to go down to the lowest place, because I got someone special here. Consider yourself lowly, and let God do the work. If he wants to raise you up, it's his turn. It's not for you and I to do ourselves nothing. Verse 4, but let each one examine his own works, and then he will have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. Be careful. You are not me, and I am not you. And we need to be careful that we don't judge ourselves and say, well, I'm better than that person, or look at my works compared to that person's, or maybe look at my works with those person's works. Hey, maybe I'm looking better. Hey. So be careful. Look at yourself by what God is doing in you. It closes here, same kind of idea. For each one shall bear his own load. You are going to stand before Jesus Christ alone. Your works, what you've done, are you going to be coming and saying, God, look at my good works versus my bad works. Can I squeeze in? That's how I once thought of getting into heaven. Or are you going to come alone and say, it's your blood that's covering over me? And he's going to say, come on in here. Come on in here. But also, the good things you've done, basically, know this. You and I are going to stand before our Maker alone. Not with our brother or our sister or our mother or our father or our spouse or our kids or our neighbor or our pastor. It's going to be you and Jesus. It's going to be me and Jesus. And we are going to answer to sin, answer to good works that are maybe not even sin, but it's like, God, did you use me in this? How did this work out? So I want to encourage you, think about this today. How are you looking before Jesus Christ? The choices you're making right now are going to be weighed by Jesus Christ. Look at them. Talk to him about this. Pray to him. It's only he that can do the good work through you. It's only you and I humbling ourselves, saying, I can't do it on my own. I need you. That's where it's all about. Humility. Humble yourselves before God today and see what he wants to do in your life. Thank you very much. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Keep reading. Keep praying. We're continuing Galatians verse by verse. I love you guys. Have a great day in the Lord. Hang on.